This is not clickbait. The conversation that you're about to listen to is 100% real. It's from a documentary called EXPELLED. I'm going to go ahead and play the clip now so that you can hear Richard Dawkins in his own words with the full and proper context, explaining something that is honestly shocking, and the implications of it are absolutely massive. I will explain those implications on the back end, but for now, let's go ahead and dive into this clip.
You have written that God is a psychotic delinquent invented by mad, deluded people.
No, I didn't say quite that. I said something rather better than that.
Oh, well, please tell us what you said. Please tell us what you said.
Well, I would have to read it from the book.
No, please.
The God of the Old Testament is arguably the most unpleasant character in all fiction. Jealous and proud of it. A petty, unjust, unforgiving control freak. A vindictive, bloodthirsty ethnic cleanser. A misogynistic, homophobic, racist, infanticidal, genocidal, filicidal, pestilential, megalomaniacal, sadomasochistic, capriciously malevolent bully.
So that's what you think of God?
Yeah.
How about if people believed in a God of infinite lovingness and kindness and forgiveness and generosity, sort of like the modern day God? Why spoil it for them? Why not just let them have their fun and enjoy it?
I mean, I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. I write a book, people can read it if they want to. I believe that it is a liberating thing to free yourself from primitive superstition.
So religion is a primitive superstition?
Oh, I think it is, yes.
So you believe it's liberating to tell people that there is no God?
I think a lot of people, when they give up God, feel a great sense of release and freedom.
Why do you think that? I mean, what's your dad? What's your scientist? What's your dad?
I think, well, I've had a lot of letters saying that, and I've...
There are 8 billion people in the world, Dr. Dawkins. How many letters have you had?
No, I haven't done that. That's quite true.
Professor Dawkins seemed so convinced that God doesn't exist that I wondered if he would be willing to put a number on it.
Well, it's hard to put a figure on it, but I mean, I'd put it as something like, 99% against or something.
Well, how do you know it's 99%?
I don't.
Say not 97%.
No, I did. You asked me to put a figure on it, and I'm not comfortable putting a figure on it. I think I just think it's very unlikely.
What? But you couldn't put a number on it?
No, of course not. No.
So it could be 49%.
Well, it would be. I mean, I think it's unlikely, but it's quite far from 50%.
How do you know?
I don't know. I mean, I put an argument in the book.
Well, then who did create the heavens and the earth?
Why do you use the word who? You see, you immediately beg the question by using the word who.
Well, then how did it get created?
Well, by a very slow process.
Well, how did it start?
Nobody knows how it started. We know the kind of event that it must have been. We know the sort of event that must have happened for the origin of life.
And what was that?
It was the origin of the first self-replicating molecule.
Right, and how did that happen?
I told you we don't know.
So you have no idea how it started?
No, nor has anybody.
Nor has anyone else. What do you think is the possibility that intelligent design might turn out to be the answer to some issues in genetics or in evolution?
It could come about in the following way. It could be that at some earlier time, somewhere in the universe, a civilization evolved by probably some kind of Darwinian means to a very, very high level of technology and designed a form of life that they seeded onto perhaps this planet. Now, that is a possibility and an intriguing possibility. And I suppose it's possible that you might find evidence for that if you look at the details of biochemistry, molecular biology. You might find a signature of some sort of designer.
Wait a second. Richard Dawkins thought intelligent design might be a legitimate pursuit?
And that designer could well be a higher intelligence from elsewhere in the universe. Well, but that higher intelligence would itself have had to have come about by some explicable or ultimately explicable process. It couldn't have just jumped into existence spontaneously. That's the point.
So Professor Dawkins was not against intelligent design, just certain types of designers, such as God.
So the Hebrew God, the God of the Old Testament, he doesn't exist in your view?
Certainly. I mean, that would be a very unpleasant prospect.
And the Holy Trinity of the New Testament,
nothing like that.
Do you believe in any of the Hindu gods? like Vishnu.
How can you ask such a question?
You don't,
how,
right?
how could I? I
Do
mean,
you
why,
believe
why
in-
would I, given that I don't believe in any others?
You don't believe in the Muslim God?
No. And why do you even need to ask?
Well, I just wanted to be sure. So you don't believe in any God anywhere?
Any God anywhere would be completely incompatible with anything that I've said.
I assume.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure. You don't believe in any God anywhere?
No.
So what you're seeing here is Richard Dawkins actually validating intelligent design. He is saying, he is admitting that there is a signature that exists within the universe, that there is intelligence embedded within the universe, that we can actually see some type of handiwork. We can see intentionality, we can see intelligence, we can see design, not just accidental, happenstance throughout the universe. He's simply saying maybe the source of that intelligence is some alienoid entity from a different universe, which is, number one, entirely faith-based and unscientific, and number two, in no way is that different than the Christian understanding of God. He's just replacing God with alien species. But his problem is actually bigger than that, because in doing so, what he's also doing is he is partaking in this infinite regression problem, where you then basically have to say, because I think I wish that Ben Stein had pressed him a little bit further in this, but you would say, well, where did this alien species come from? And he would have to say, which he kind of did get a little bit into in the clip, but well, it evolved itself, but then where did the material that evolution began come from? Where did the something come from as opposed to nothing? And you say, well, that evolved from something else, and there was another alien species that created this alien species, and so on and so forth. He's in an infinite regression loop, unless he's saying, which I don't think that he is, that at some point there's one alien who created the first bit of material that all the other aliens. But now you're really just saying, okay, God is an alien. And so within all of this, I think that you can really see Dawkins' heart. You can see his resistance to God as a personal being, his rejection of the God of the Bible, based along the lines that creator is also a moral lawgiver, is also asking people for the worship that he is worthy of receiving. But there is that, it's so personal. He's been given a name in the pages of scriptures. And I think that specificity is what is so offensive to people who don't want to be subject to their creator, people who would prefer to be their own gods. It's much more convenient to say, yes, there's an intelligent design in this universe. Yes, I can see the fingerprints of that intelligence. But you know what? I think it's just an alien species. It doesn't want me to do anything. I would prefer to be left very much alone. And you can see the sort of personal, emotional appeal of that for Dawkins, but it also is just utterly damning to his allegedly purely scientific worldview. You can see the faith and the emotion starting to rise to the surface throughout this clip. And so for that reason, I hope you guys enjoyed this clip. There'll be more videos like this to come. And so definitely like, subscribe, follow, hit the notification bell, all those things. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this daily dose of wisdom. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.